What do you even say? What do you say after this? What do you say to your fan base? What do you say to your players? What do you say to your if you're like the owner of the Detroit Pistons right now, who's probably somewhere in California getting his tan on? He's barely here. He doesn't show. He only shows for big games, and even then, they're not big games because we've been losing. I'm looking at the standings. It's like Milwaukee win-loss 15-6, streak win-2. Indiana 11-8, who was rebuilding last year, 11-8. They've won 2. Matter of fact, they're deep into the in-season tournament. Good for them. Cleveland 12-9. They're only 3 games back, win 2. Chicago 8-14. I think they're going to rebuild, probably trade Zach LaVine at some point. I don't know, but then you see Detroit 2-19, 13 games back from first place already. The season just started. Streak, loss, 8. I can't. They won't play the games on 97 won the ticket because the Pistons are so bad. They are taking the Pistons off every NBA TV game because the Pistons are so bad. People think legitimately Monty could just leave. And I wouldn't even blame him. The roster is that bad. I told people when Stan Van Gundy left, that would be the biggest problem. It's getting guys to come in and play for this team during a rebuild. And guess what? We got lucky with Cade. People should want to play with Cade. But you're not making the adequate moves to get Cade more talent. And now this is where we are. You got a GM that can't make moves or won't make moves, even though there were rumors that Bojan he wanted 2 first round picks for him. But then at the same time, someone offered 2 firsts, and you didn't take that. That's on the GM. That's not on the coach. That's not on the players. You called out what you wanted. You said 2 firsts. Someone offered 2 firsts, and you didn't take that? Why? Why didn't you Mind you, this team still does not have a consistent roster. On top of that, for some odd and very crazy, insane, stupid reason, this man, Monty Williams, he did not want to coach this team, and I can clearly see he does not want to coach this team, does not want to play Jaden Ivey, a rookie who wanted to play, he's not a rookie, he was a rookie last season, my fault. He's a sophomore now. He's coming into his second year, and you're basically didn't even play the first quarter last night. That was the winnable game we could have had. Instead, you play him in the second quarter. He goes crazy. He gets like 9 points in the second quarter. And then you have another fourth quarter collapse. It's like, what does this man have to do? You are killing his minutes. We get to 20 losses. We get to 30 losses. We get to 40 losses. It's called. It's called already. Like, I know people are saying, well, they can still make a turnaround like halfway through the season. You'd have to fire the GM midseason because he's not making any moves for this team. Fire the coach midseason because he's not the coaching for this team is not working. There's no defense. We keep shutting down every fourth quarter or blown out by teams with much better spacing and much better shooting. Desmond Bane had 49. This is my first Sportslogic video in like months. And both the last two Sportslogic videos I've made have been about how bad Michigan State was and now how bad the Pistons are. Like, outside of the Lions, the Tigers showing life, and Eastern Michigan being good, this has been one of the worst sports seasons. Eastern Michigan football is good. Eastern Michigan basketball, not so much. Michigan State is, if it's not the scandal on the football side, the basketball team's doing bad. So, and then the Lions are great. I'm above and beyond on the Lions. The Tigers look okay. Red Wings look great. Pistons, there's no soul. There's no heart. A lot of these guys can't shoot. They can't defend. The collection of talent is a mess. The only four guys that should be safe on this team, Cade Cunningham, but if his rookie extension comes up soon, he could leave. Jaden Ivey, he's not getting enough minutes. Jalen Duren keeps getting injured. He has to play, but he keeps getting hurt. Why? There's no spacing, so he keeps getting injured in the paint. Everyone's in the paint with him. And Asar Thompson. That's it. I don't see anybody else. Let me go to this roster. I don't see anyone else staying on this team. Marvin Bagley, no. Bojan, no. Alec Burks, get him off the team. He can't shoot consistently. He gets on my nerves. I don't know what Casalone does except for take up for one of the young guys. I don't care. Joe Harris should not be on this team. He can't shoot. We knew he couldn't shoot that well, and y'all brought him on to be a shooter. He's not a good shooter, and he's 32. Why? I don't know why you brought him on. Kevin Knox should be off this team. Isaiah Livers should be off this team. Monty Morris, he hasn't even played yet, and I don't even think he's going to play this season. Roden can't play. Sasser's on and off. Stewart sucks. Amude's bad. James Wiseman, bro, get... And there's zero. My microphone. There is zero sense of urgency between the owner, GM, and the president of basketball operations to make any moves. You either fire everyone or you sell the team, because I am sick of this. This isn't a rebuild. It's a waste. I see other teams who have gone through rebuilds like Indiana, Orlando, Houston, OKC. They get picks, they get talent, they sign players that want to come here, so on and so forth. They're trading guys in and out. Guys are leaving, this, that, and the third. We're not doing anything to help out with this roster. Nothing. We're doing nothing to help this roster. I don't know when it ends either. That's the worst part. You got an owner who's non-existent. You got a president of basketball operations who does nothing. He's not going to fire anyone. He's not going to do anything. You got a GM who's scared to make trades, and he's scared to do anything with this roster. And you got a coach that is bogging down the minutes of your best players. And even so, knowing that your best players are out there on the floor, you are killing Cade Cunningham. Jalen Duren keeps getting injured. Killian Hayes keeps getting minutes over Jaden Ivey, which is insane. And then just a collection of talent that just stink. They all just stink. I'm sick of all of it. This is my basketball team, man. This really hurts. This really hurts. I haven't even been keeping up with basketball because of this. When your teams are bad, it takes you out of the sport entirely. And what it's going to come down to is we're already a quarter of the way through the season. Once we get halfway, once we finish the season, where is this team going to end up? Matter of fact, it's going to be much worse when football season ends and 100% of the focus is on NBA, college basketball. It's going to be worse. If you make no moves now, if you make no moves at 20 losses, if you make no moves at 30, if you make no moves at 40, if you make no moves halfway through the season, call it. That's it. Just another trash season. And you hope that next year is something, but the next guy we pick up on draft, I don't know where we're going to be, because the lottery, you can go as high as 1 or as low as 7. And the Pistons got screwed out of their last pick. This team, I believe this team will look a lot different with Victor Wembanyama, but we didn't even get the opportunity to get him. And I don't know who's coming out for the draft this upcoming year, but I'm pretty sure that they're not going to be better than a lot of the guys that are on this team already. So, at some point, you either do one of two things. Either the owner himself gets out of that cabana or wherever he is in California. He comes up, he steps up, he fires all these guys, he starts over. Or the NBA steps in. And that's all you can really hope for. You hope that the NBA just steps in and just goes, no. We can't. This has been multiple years of a rebuild. You have not made any significant moves. You haven't done anything, and you keep losing. They actually got referees to help the Pistons last night, and they still lost. This is bad for basketball. This is bad for Detroit fans. Excuse me. This is just bad. Just bad. The core fan base is like just quitting on this team. This is so bad. Absolutely terrible. Sportslogic.